Martin County on TV, Talking Business.
Hi, I'm Sara Pierce with Pierce Accounting and Tax Services. You're watching Martin County on TV, Talking Business. Today we are with a new special guest, Stephanie. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. So, Stephanie Busiahn, I am the Director of Fairmont Community Education and Recreation.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about it.
So, Fairmont Community Education and Recreation, we are an entity of the Fairmont area schools. So, our funding comes from a variety of sources. One being user fees, registration fees, those types of things, grants, and then local levy that comes in and is funneled through the school district, but is dedicated for community service, which we oversee.
Great. So that sounds like a lot. What are some of the programs you guys have?
We offer youth and adult enrichment programs. And those consist of, the upholstery classes, the adult cooking classes, painting, those types of things. We also offer youth enrichment classes, a lot of those being some after school. We offer some STEM programs, after school enrichment programs, Lego camps, those types of things. And then both adult and youth sports. And that's naturally a lot of times what people think of when they think of community ed. They think of the t-ball and the flag football and the soccer and those types of things. So that very much is a part of our offerings. We also have adult co-ed softball leagues, sand volleyball leagues in the summer. In addition to that, we have adult basic education, and that's comprised of our GED classes, so individuals that are looking to get their GED, as well as EL, English learner classes. And so that is a variety of that's open to anyone and everyone. Those are free classes that are offered through our office.
Oh, wow. That really is a lot. And you do the fun run every year, too, the 5-miler. That's always fun and a great turnout for all the kids and the whole family can get involved with that.
Absolutely. And you've participated in that.
I have. I try. Yeah, that's great. So that really is a lot. Lots to keep our kids busy and adults. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
The last couple of years have been kind of weird. So what kind of changes have you seen to programming since in the last couple of years?
Yeah. So, our programs ebb and flow. We are constantly and consistently seeking input from the community in terms of, what they're looking for. We strive to meet the needs of our community. So our programs have, we have some of our tried and true, again, kind of those youth sports that continue to operate. We've seen, again, ebbs and flows with participation numbers. One of the things that is interesting to me that we have seen is a lot of a continuation of our virtual classes. Okay. Through the COVID pandemic and all of that, a lot of things were shut down. A lot of things transitioned online to virtual. There was this thought process that once that went away, air quote, I don't know if it ever really goes away, but once we started transitioning back, that people would be over virtual. If they never had to participate in another Zoom meeting again, they would be happy. However, we have found over the years that there is still a need. There's still a demographic that seeks that virtual experience. One of the things that is really great in terms of offering for our community in particular is when we work with instructors, we see minimums and maximums. And so, and that's, cost flow and just what makes sense for, the instructor and for us.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, I'm going to throw out a number of 5. An instructor will say, yep, I can lead this course, this fitness course, or whatever it might be, painting class, but I have to have at least 5 people to make this really go. So we put that minimum out there. Well, in some cases, we don't reach that. Most of the time, we try and really promote our classes and our offerings, but in some cases, we don't. So it goes away. The great thing about virtual and some of those instructors that we've tapped into is it's opened up a huge opportunity for our community to receive programming, to participate in programming that they wouldn't typically be able to participate in. We're tapping into some instructors that we wouldn't have access to otherwise, whether that's the Twin Cities, whether that's, throughout the country. So they couldn't make it to Fairmont on a weekly or a monthly basis to lead an activity. However, the other thing that we see is that those minimums go away because they are connecting and participating with a variety of networks. So they may have an individual that's taking a class, in 7 other different communities. And so if we have one person that's interested, that class is a go. So we've been able to expand and grow some of our online, some of our virtual programming. And, it's a great opportunity for our community to participate in some of those.
Yeah, that's a lot of great points. I totally agree that I thought virtual was going to kind of go away, but you realize the convenience of it and everything it really brings and how much you can really expand with that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some changes or added programs you're looking at going forward?
So, we broke down some of our populations that we serve and are finding that there's a lot of underserved populations. Our adults with disabilities is one of those populations that we have found over the years that really could use a boost in programming. So we've been working really hard to grow that. We've partnered with Special Olympics and have done some programming in that arena and have seen some good successes there. Our adult programs, we have, again, kind of that tried and true youth program. When people think of community ed, again, they think of T-ball or they think of youth programming, which is very much near and dear to our hearts, and we will continue to do that. But really find that a lot of times adults are seeking those opportunities in those very small windows of time that they're not running kiddos or they're not at work or so to try and increase and grow some of those offerings, those short, 1 or 2 times, nothing significantly long, not a 12-week course or but really they're looking for some education and enrichment and outlet to get together and a lot of times more of a social setting to connect with friends and do something that they enjoy doing. So some of those painting classes, some of those, kind of hands-on arts, crafts, those types of things. So yeah, we're working to grow those offerings as well.
So all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
That's great. So tell us about some of the challenges you have faced.
Yes. So with any organization and entity, there are challenges that you're faced with. One of the largest challenges that we are facing is volunteers. People are busy. They're, in some cases overcommitted. There's a lot of opportunities for people to fill their time. And so, but with a lot of our programs, we seek and rely on volunteers. Volunteer coaches for T-ball, volunteer coaches for flag football. The sky's the limit. Volunteers for, our summer run, all of those things. We love to have volunteers come in and help with GED and our English learners and work through with them in addition to our instructors. And so we are finding as we continue, increasing our offerings that the availability for volunteers is starting to decrease. So we are trying to find creative ways to fill those gaps, doing a lot of asking and begging and pleading to parents. And we get it. Parents are, are busy and in a lot of cases are wanting to come and watch their kiddo participate. And but some of those programs don't happen without volunteers. So we are always seeking those.
Okay. With the volunteers, is there certain age groups that you target or is it all ages can volunteer?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. All ages. In fact, we've had some high school students come in and assist with our English learner classes. Some of those individuals that are actually currently enrolled in Spanish class are coming in and helping our English learners. Okay. Those we have tapped into even having conversation, those varsity and junior high athletes coming and participating and assisting with that. At those younger ages, they idolize those older varsity players. And so trying to integrate that and helping grow programs, again, whether that's T-ball or baseball or flag football, just providing them some positive role models and again, building those programs.
So speaking of volunteers, if someone has a new idea or some type of program they want to offer, how do they go about that process?
And we are always looking for new ideas, new instructors, And that process is just connecting with our office, letting us know that you have, a passion or something that you want to share with the community. We can set that up. We walk through a process of, creating a description and talking about price points and all of that. We market that. We push it out on our web store, as well as a variety of our social media channels. We do some news releases and really spread the word that way. And then, we handle all the registrations. So in terms of the instructor, they're really able to just focus on that content or the area that they are the expert in.
Sure.
Which also reminds me that we hear a lot of people say, well, I didn't go to school for that. I'm not an expert in. People are really not necessarily looking for that expert piece. If they want high level, they will go someplace else to seek that out. These are really people that, just want to share their passions and, their time and talents with others. And so it could be a variety of things. Again, some of those art classes or cooking. We've attempted to run some interior design classes. Okay. A variety of things. And again, it's sharing the knowledge that you have. Doesn't mean that you're an officially certified doctor in.
Right.
It's a fun opportunity for people to connect.
What a fantastic way to build connections with everybody
Yeah.
in the community. That's wonderful. So we're hearing a lot about what you have going on now. Tell us about the history of CER.
The CER started in 1972. So there's a long history of programming and assisting and meeting the lifelong learning needs of the communities that we support. We've been in a variety of locations. For the bulk of time, most people remember CER being in a school.
Yep.
And that's naturally where a lot of locations, other community CERs are located. We are actually located in the Southern Minnesota Educational Campus, a city-owned facility, and that's opened some doors and some opportunities for us. We are definitely feel maybe more connected and in tune to the community as a whole.
We love having you downtown. So yeah, it's definitely growing down here, so it's great. Tell us, how do we find out about your programs?
Where we're seeing the bulk of our traffic coming through is our web store. Our web store has all of our programs. We continuously are putting on new programs. A lot of people are familiar with our brochure or our catalog. And that can be in a print form. We're also looking at a digital option for that. So really the best way to find out about our programming is to go online and look at our web store.
Well, thank you, Stephanie, so much for joining us today and telling us so much about CER. That was great. I'm Sara Pierce with Pierce Accounting and Tax Services, and thank you for joining us on Martin County on TV, Talking Business.
Well, there you have it, another episode of Martin County on TV. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we welcome you to tune in again. Thank our sponsors for making this happen, and remember, it's not just the past, but the present that tells our story.